Gilgamesh this morning got into his litter box and was scraping all around. And so I was like, okay, dude, what's going on in here? Scraping everywhere. The walls, the side of the litter box, blah, blah, blah. So I go and I look to see what he's doing. He's done a poopy. Big surprise. It's not. He'd be doing poopies. And he had mostly covered it, but not all the way. Because normally he's not very good at covering it anyways. So I took the poop scoop and I covered it a little bit more for him with the litter. So that maybe he would stop scratching the walls and just get out of the litter box. And so I scooped the litter onto his poop so he would stop. And so he noticed. So then he went to move. Bella's got it. He went to move, and as he lifted his back foot out of the litter that I had scooped, a poopy came with it because he had been stepping in it. And Gilgamesh he's done this more than once. So I do check him sometimes because he doesn't know how to cover his poop, and then he also just sometimes stands in it. So he had a poopy foot, so I was like... So I picked him up and I tried wiping it off with a paper towel. Was not really coming off. They really like the bathtub. They don't like it when it's filled with water. Like, they'll sit on the side of the bathtub while I'm in there, and they'll also put their tail into it without knowing. Or if they're sitting on the edge, I just be dunking that tail. And so I started running the tap a little bit, which they're not afraid of. And then I dunked his feet into the water and I cleaned them off. So he was fine after that. Luckily, he didn't mind the little bit of water in there. They are both being really curious about the bathtub. I don't know if it's because they see me in there and then they come in there and hang out while I'm in the bathtub, and they'll sit on the edge of it or like walk on the edge, and then their tail will go in the water a little bit. And sometimes they like, if I haven't filled it up all the way and my chest and my stomach are out of the water, they'll get onto me like I'm an island. And that is terrifying because I'm just waiting for the moment that they get a little scared and then I'm turned into shredded cheese. But they like looking at the bath, and Brian likes to dip his paws in the water, and then both of them try to drink it, and then they do that thing where they go pff, and they don't know how high the water is, so they end up getting it in their nose. And then I'll hear, like, in the morning or at night, I'll hear, like, the side of the bathtub is plastic, and if you lean against it, it squeaks a little bit. And so I hear the bathtub squeak because Gilgamesh gets into the bathtub when it's not filled up and then sleeps in there. And Brian will also get in there with him now. And Brian will jump onto the little trash can and then jump onto the edge of the bathtub. Cat fell in the bath when he was little, and he looked so small and sad like a drowned rat. That's too cute. Brian did it this morning, because I did take a bath this morning, because I went out and I had some food, and then I came back and I took a bath because I had a migraine last night, so I took medicine before I went to bed, woke up, had a migraine again, took some medicine, went to eat, still had a migraine, took a bath. So while I was in the bathtub, Brian was sitting on the edge, and he went to turn around away from me, and he slipped, and his back end went into the bathtub, but it wasn't filled up very high. And so his feet and a bit of his butt got wet. And he didn't freak out too bad, he just jumped right back out. So they're curious about the bathtub, and I've put them both into it and had the water running a bit and put some like treats in there. And so they're curious about it, and they're not afraid of it while the water is running. Brian will let you put him over the water and dunk his feet in, and then he's like, actually, I did not agree to this, please stop. But if you hold Gilgamesh over the bathtub, he meows and gets mad at you, if it's got water in it. But they're curious enough. If you put a towel down, they shouldn't get freaked out from the slippies. Okay, yeah, because that's the other thing. It's like the back of the bathtub is sloped, so if they try to get out of the bathtub, they slip.